So we spent some time doing some airbrushing, getting the chassis curated. You can check these out in the VODs and on Patreon. And so the next installment after we got that all kind of curated was we jumped in and started working on these preposterous shoulder pads. These are his actual shoulder pads. Okay? So we worked on these yesterday. So I'm gonna get these mounted on him right now. It's the first order of business. Okay? And then we're gonna jump in on the legs. First order of business, let's do the finishing touches on these banners. There we go. So what we have to do is make sure that the flag looks good. And so, let me get a new, look out, this is just a disaster. So let's get a new parchment laid out. Throw some water down. So the colors of our white kind of creamy ivory are ivory. We tinge that ivory with a little transparent yellow when needed. And the darker color in the composition, the dark tone, is actually black brown right here. It's just that this is the 3-piece workup for all that creamy white spectrum. Throw a little fresh water down. So what we're doing is we're just sharpening this flag. And you can see I already started doing some pin washing, so it's pretty easy. I know that this flag is some combination of all three of these colors in some kind of transition. Okay? That's basically the flag. So all I need to do is jump in on this mental spectrum and find something that's slightly darker, make it semi-opaque and a little wet, and just use my eyes, and I can use this to pin wash and make an area darker. Right? So I'm going to make this section, I'm going to reinforce right here. Now, it's low opacity and wet, so what I can do is take some of the brighter stuff real quick, maybe some of the yellow, and I can move in here and just like wet glaze that right over it. And it's going to be super smooth and easy to do because the colors are already there. So even though my application of this fake wet blend is a little transparent, it works because what peeks through the transparency is the same exact color composition. So it's a way to kind of smooth it out and get some really sharp transitions with low opacity wet ass paint. See right here? Using the moisture to kind of cheat a blend in. And so I'm just finding some bigger folds in the fabric and giving them some love. Like right here. I'm going to just kind of stipple in right here, like a little shadow work. Right under this ledge. Stipple, just using our sewing machine stroke. Get some white and ivory, keeping it wet. And just stipple right into that. Move down, rinse my brush. Maybe pick up a little bit more brown. Stipple right in. Keep it wet, deliberately wet. And now you got a nice little ledge right there, looking beautiful. And this is all just airbrushed, and all we're doing is manipulating the real estate. A few minutes of wet glazing, And this is a total fucking cheat code when it comes to airbrushing. Is how you can set everything up with the airbrush. Use the exact same color combination. And just kind of swirl the paint together and get a sick blend. Now, what I'll do is I'll get a little bit more opacity in my paint. So more paint, less water. And I'll use the tip of my brush and I'll draw a little highlight right here using the heart pull strategy where I pull straight back to my heart. This is much drier than we've been doing, which helps you with control. More opaque, which gives you immediate impact. I'm watering it down a little bit right here. And don't be afraid to rotate the model. Use the side of the paintbrush when necessary. And that's the tracer technique right there. We're just riding that little rail. Just want that cape to be nice and clean. Lots of little swirlies on it. Now, got to do the backside still, but there's some cordage up here. So what we want to do is want to take that cordage maybe off the brown spectrum a little bit. But before that, let's work on the actual spike through his chest. So I made it much darker. So let's add some yellow to the brown. And let's just do like a clean little highlight right here. Using the side of our brush, we're doing a little tracer technique. Here I'm going to do a raw heart pull. And those are fake. You just make those up. Now, the cordage, like I said, that we have to just take that off the spectrum. Because it just starts getting lost in the image if it's just straight up brown. So we've used blue several times, so I'll use it again. I'm just going to drop some dark blue on the palette. Right here. And I painted those brown with some black on them. But what I'll do is I'll just use high opacity, low moisture here. And I'm deliberately just working the chords themselves using the heart pull. So we're not resetting them all to blue. We're just kind of blowing up a quick highlight. I'm using ivory to make it brighter. And now there's a lot more contrast. There you go. Since I'm on the blue, let me just kind of throw down some blue right here. I got a little blue where I didn't want. Okay. So now, this big horn is kind of a big deal. This one's kind of a gonna be kind of a pain in the dick. We did airbrush it. I think I put a really light black wash on it. But we definitely need to sharpen the angles. So right here, let's run a tracer. Using that same spectrum, that ivory, yellow, brown. I'm respecting it. A little bit right there. Now, let's get the lower shelf. I'm going to use a heart pull. Right there. And I'm not using anywhere near pure ivory. This is like still that in-between mix. Keeping the opacity pretty high. Some stipples right here. Right there. I'm going to get a little bit brighter now. Just gonna give these this little seam a little bit of a peak. Now there are a bunch of little scratches, so let's just stipple right under them for an under highlight. Because it's kind of beat up a little bit. And then let's take the dark brown that we have here, and let's just water it down a little bit and then give a top shadow to these scratches. Stippling in. Sewing machine stroke. Tight. Tight, 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 tight. Now, oh, we gotta do, I hate it when this happens. It's like you gotta paint the whole other side. MC Mumio, thank you for the follow. So let's just work on this horn again. High opacity, low moisture. We're gonna really rock it. We're gonna rock that brush back real shallow. See if I can ride this. Right there. But I've also made that highlight very respectful and kind of tucked it in there. So if I made mistakes, it would ride. Let's get some of the black brown. And I realized I never put any inside of here, so I got to darken this chamber first. And we've got to just reinforce now. I've put more ivory in the mix. And now let's get more opacity, less moisture. Let's see if we can just use the tip of our brush here carefully. And we've got to bring some in right here. Let's run back to this stake, spike, whatever. I'm not even going to do the back of the flag. That's why I airbrushed it. I'm just kidding. This is the view and angle I care about. Once I glue it on them, if I feel like I need to do something about it, I will. But I try to, like, you know, find shortcuts where I can. And it's not like I didn't paint the flag. It's just if it's something that bothers me once I put the shoulder on. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to put it on now so I can see it. I'm actually just going to sand this part real quick. Take some of the paint off. And I'm looking for my X-Acto. Where's my blade? Where did I put that thing? No, found it. I'm actually just going to kind of score this. Just kind of introduce some texture in there. Beat up some of the paint. MC says hi. First time here. Thank you for explaining the painting process in detail. I'm making notes. Oh, you're welcome, man. So I'm really anxious to see what this looks like. So I'm gonna put a little glue on here. There's a little dent right there, and I'm gonna angle the shoulder to cheat it forward as much as I can and still be in that hole. Like I'm rotating it, see? And I'm just gonna be patient. That's what I wanted. So that shoulder pad is like, I've said it before. That's like, imagine you're painting like a Space Marine hero. Just that shoulder pad is like more going on, more. It's like a Blade Guard veteran. Like. And he's got another one. So let's jump into it. So again, if you're watching the first few videos, this is our volume 5, I believe. If you're new here, go to Patreon. You can see the VODs. You can check them out on the highlights here, both behind my paywall. We airbrush this, and so we use these 3 paints. So all I'm going to do is grab the thing that makes those paints darker, the thing that made it yellowy, water it down. You throw a little ivory in there to be respectful. But this is really low opacity. This doesn't have a lot of stain power. If you just put this right over black, it wouldn't do anything. But since that's actually the paint we used, it's going to be informed by the paint we used, which is the paint we're using now, and it will have a noticeable impact. So I'm making it darker and watery. I'm going to use the tip of my brush, and I'm just going to kind of go into where the shadow should be. See that? Maybe get a little bit more of the brown. Right there. Now I'm going to rinse pick up some of the ivory while it's still wet and wet glaze it. And so the moisture is just causing a blur, like a healing stroke, like a healing effect. And when you're wet blending, you're trying to stay opaque. You're trying to stay pretty gangster. When you're wet glazing, you're not. And like I said, wet glazing does not work if you don't already have like a foundation under there. Like that doesn't work over black. That would just vanish. Mark Pizza, thanks for the follow. So again, let's take some of our dark stuff, keeping it kind of wet. It's wet and low opacity. So right there, jump up to the brighter part while it's still wet. And I'm just using the heart pull, which is a stroke we teach in our classes. Boom. So this is how you use your paintbrush to augment your airbrush game, and vice versa. So we're using a pin wash strategy, using the heart pull technique, or the heart pull, or pin wash technique using the heart pull strategy. Low opacity, high moisture. Everything comes down to the opacity and the moisture. Now we're going to go much higher in opacity and lower in moisture. Using the heart pull strategy again. And we're just generating some contrast, making things pop out. We're going to use the tracer technique right here. We're going to just trace right there. And this flag had more billowing, like it has less like see, we were doing this side of the flag before, it's like more crimped, and this side is more flowy. Now what we'll do now is take some of the black brown, kind of water it down a little bit. And we want this spike to be much darker. Using my X10 from Monument Paints, Monument Hobbies. And everything that was in this like kind of ivory white position was, you know, has black brown in it. We started this whole project with black brown. So there's a link, it'll stick. Now I should also not be avoiding the chords because I need them to be dark before I put the blue back on. So that was unnecessary to kind of avoid them. Let's let that dry for a second. Now, I'm going to do something crazy. I'm just going to water down the black brown like crazy, and I'm going to use it as a wash. So it gets inside of some of those recesses. Semi-opaque and wet. Just quick filter. Now let's let that dry for a second. Let's come back here. Let's run using the same colors. I'll highlight right along the seam here using our tracer. And now we're going to use our heart pull. Run a quick highlight right there. JBZ, thanks, man. Tracer, flat of the brush, hold your breath, swing it from right to left. Opacity, low moisture. Here is the heart pull strategy. Right there. Now, let's get some more ivory and yellow in the mix. You're using the tracer. Right there. Rotate the model. I'm going to use the heart pull right here. Sometimes when I'm doing this technique, I like to take a little flow improver because it's going to dry on your tip. When you're using the tip of your brush, it wants to dry there faster. It's not as much girth. So a little flow improver to help out here. High opacity, low moisture. Always pulling back to my heart when possible. There's some scores in the horn that I'm gonna pull out with some highlights. Go back to black brown. And do a top shadow. And I don't know what's going on right here. That part is kind of jacked up, so I just kind of fixing the texture there by doing a 2D texture. Let's go a little brighter. A little more yellow, a little more ivory. Okay, let's do this side real quick. And we airbrushed all these little bits separate, so they're already painted with a transition. So you, like I said, you don't need to overthink this, especially on the viewing angles you don't look at, like the back. Like, I mean, it's fucking painted already. It's already sick looking. It's just, I'm gonna just do a quick highlight on this side, not as much effort. And again, I'm gonna ignore the cape on this side, because this is the side that matters. They're both painted though, so whatever. Embed that shortcut in there. Let's take some blue. Right over this. And that's dark blue. And I'm just cheating that cordage to be not brown, so it's got contrast. Now, contrast for me, if you're just tuning in, just means separation, being able to see elements of the model or the piece. It's just, don't want parts of the image to get lost. That's it. So by changing that off of brown, that's all I'm doing it for. We're going to add just a drop of ivory in. Now we're going to be very careful here. Using the heart pull, high opacity, low moisture. We're just going to hit those individual chords. A little more ivory. High opacity, low moisture. Heart pulls. That's simple. Now, before we put this guy on, we have to dry brush some metal on him. So just real quick, we're going to take a little dark silver. Take my big army painter dry brush. Just dark silver. And this is just primed black brown back here. And because this is like up against his body, you really can't see this. So if you poke around the side and you look at my guy in a way that you're not supposed to, it'll look like I painted this. Right? But you're gonna have to like get a magnifying glass out to see that shit. Same deal. Score, score, score. Taking some of the paint off. There we go. Okay, glue. And again, I'm going to give it some forward tilt. Patience. Fuck out of here. War Pigment's like, I like him with his skinny arms. Get the fuck out of here, War Pigment. That, you like skinny arm, no bicep having fucking War Machine over this? Bruh, come on. Get out of here.
Angels sang out in a chorus. Down from the heavens descended children.
Mark Pizza, thank you for the sub, homie. And I think I missed something in chat. Snake Oil Services. First time chatter. Thanks. Welcome to the show. He says, not blowing smoke, but you inspired me and gave me the confidence to airbrush. Thank you, man. Welcome to the show, brother. Hit that follow button. Kick it with us. And shout out to Mark Pizza. Strong man loving chat. Thank you for the support, homie. No, it's like, it's clearly, now that we have like the reds and stuff in there, War Pigment, like this is samurai armor. This dude is like clearly inspired by like samurai armor. Now, you see that now that we have it glued on, there's a few things we need to fix. Okay, and you see like there's some chipping here where like the primer didn't get all the way around his arm based on how we were holding it. See that? So all I'm going to do is I'm going to be super fucking lazy. I'm going to take some of that silver, our angular dry brush, and I'm going to cover those bits with just some stipples. Just selective dry brushing, essentially. Same silver we used everywhere else. Just dark silver. Just some selective dry brushing. It's a cover. Now you can see we can see in the guts a little bit more. So what we'll do there is just grab some transparent orange. I'm gonna grab just like some random shit brush because I might be touching super glue. Just like one of my random stirring brushes. And what we'll do is we'll just take water, some brown, orange, water it down, and we'll just kind of stipple it in there. And it's very low opacity, so it's going to dry it super subdued. It's not going to look like that. Take more water and even spread that out. So what you're doing is you're doing a really bad wash, and I call this juicing. It's a bad wash, and so it dries spotty and weird, and it really does support like this kind of grimy rust effect. Just using some brown and some orange right now. And I'm target locking it into these joints and inside these seams. Like so. Just let that dry, we'll come back to it. Just gotta tighten up what's going on in there. You can even throw a little bit deep in these joints here to sell it. All right, my man is looking jacked, son. So that's how this arm should be, is like that. And I like this one coming across his body. Like he's like, I'm coming at you, dog. All right. That's a huge step. That's a huge step forward. We gotta do the leg armor though. See. Wow. I'm gonna lock into the obesity cradle. Okay. Ugh. Hold on a second. Just which one am I trying to do first? I'm trying to do his right leg first. So this is the one I want to do first. Okay. Any questions before we jump in on this? You see, we've got a bunch of deets. Probably silver again, because he's got silver, but maybe black trim again. Maybe black. I feel like the black is a great accent. We did it on the shoulders. Let's do black. little bit of coal black. Pull out my number 4 synthetic. All right. So what we're gonna do is just kind of go hot and heavy, pretty much right off the palette, and we're gonna paint this whole thingy right here. And I'm using heart pull strategy, high opacity, some moisture for spread. Well, I'm going for that one and done coverage that people tell you shouldn't try to do, but that's all I do. The important thing is to keep spreading it and work off the wet edge. Just because you put the paint down doesn't mean it's stuck there. You can sweep it around. And if you are paying attention and not being lazy, you can get that high opacity coverage the first with the first pass. But even if you don't, it's fine. Like, just spread it out. Don't let it be fucking built up. Use the moisture as you need it. And I'm using this number 4. Like I said, Pro Synth from Monument Hobbies. I'm using a lot of tip action right here. I'm going to mitigate how much moisture is in the brush and start using some stipples to get in between these spikes. There's other ledges, like anything that's like off the model like this is going to have a shelf. Like that. So change the angle. Move into a heart pull. So now we've got this nice black accent. B-Buzz, thank you for the resale, homie. Let me get some strongman love right there. Belly Savalis, did you airbrush the leg armor to get at that point before you started brushing? Yes. Schneed, one and Doug coverage is total chef kiss. Apex King, the greatest of all YouTube trolls, tuning in. What's up, brother? Now, there is like another set of trim right here. I'm going to do this with my number 4, a heart pull right here. Wow. Rotate. And again, heart pull. Right there. Heart pull. And anybody who's curious about airbrushing, that's our main shit. If you go back to the VODs, you'll see that the first volume on this project was all the airbrushing, and now everything we're doing is how to use our paintbrush with the airbrush. Because a lot of people don't understand how they work together, and that's kind of one of the main things I teach. If you're looking to get OP at painting, get your airbrush set up. OnePlus saves. Apex King is a better troll than you on YouTube. Apex King. OnePlus. I don't even know. It's right. You were my son. Apex King. Like, you should go find that comment. The first comment you made to me. OnePlus saves. This guy comes at me on YouTube and he's like, y'all looked at that fucking screenshot of like Mortarion or something, whatever the video was, and he was like, yeah, I was like, y'all watch this. Dude opens his mouth for 2 seconds, fuck this hillbilly or some shit like that. He's like, fuck this guy. Like, garbage. You know what I mean? Some shit like that. Like, classic. I mean, and he's not the only one who's ever said that. Like, he's... OnePlus saves. Dad? Oh no! This might backfire on me. This might be bad. Okay, so let's be smart about our time, guys, and let's just do both. Okay? Again, high opacity, some moisture. We're going for that one and done coverage. I'm going to start up top and I'm going to just pull the pile, right? I'm cognizant of my wet edge. See, I'm starting here. I'm dragging it down with heart pull strategy. And when I feel like there's enough paint, I'll just keep spreading it out. You see? Now, if you feel like it's getting pulled up in any recesses, just grab a little bit more moisture, because you can actually introduce moisture in real time and drag it out, sweep it out. And using light brush pressure is another mistake people make, is they're like jamming the paint on there. The paint is not gonna fucking stick if you're pushing hard. It wants to transfer to the dry surface. I teach that in my classes a lot. Where half of the class is me just teaching you how to like understand what moisture is trying to do. It's about you developing those instincts. And that's how you get OP. That's how you unlock like wet blending and stuff. If you're pushing really fucking hard, it's just smearing it around. The wetness here wants to go to the dry surface. So, boop, boop, let it be there. Light pressure. And that's how you keep it from ever getting built up. It's interesting what moisture is trying to do. Moisture, like the wet brush, the paint wants to jump off of it onto the dry surface, right? But if your brush is dry, then the paint wants to jump off the wet surface back into your brush. If your brush is at an equilibrium with the surface, that's kind of where wet blending starts happening. I'm using some stippling right here. We're going to hit this shelf with a quick heart pull right here. Rotate. Right here. Wow, son. Schneed, he's like, it's beautiful, father and son reuniting on stream. That's right, man. Yeah, OnePlus saves. He said something mean, like a lot of people say about me. And he was like, too bad the artwork's really good, but this guy's insufferable or some shit. And I was like, I understand, you know. I was like, check me out on Twitch, some shit like that. And I think he was expecting me to be combative. And then he was like, okay, I will, motherfucker. And then he shows up on Twitch and he's like, oh, okay, this is tight. So troll turned viewer. So OnePlus saves, you came to me kind and sweet from the beginning. So even though you're an epic troll on this platform, it's hard to put you in the same category as Apex King. And then you have LT enter the conversation, who is possibly your progenitor, both of you individuals. Because now I've moved you guys into, like, vampires. So he made you both. You're... True, if you think Kenny's insufferable on YouTube, just wait till you see him on Twitch and the podcast. Alphabetical Quentin. Oh, never mind. OnePlus 7 says, that's the secret. You lure them in with sweetness. Black Vanju. Poor Pigment. What is his birthday on? You might be screwed. What? And then you have War Pigment, who's like a decent troll if he can learn to type. Alright, here we go. Quick heart pull. Wow, son. Okay. Rotate. Drag it back to your heart. People think I say hard pull because Bonet says mumblecore is what I do. So I don't talk from my diaphragm. She said I talk from my mouth box or some shit. Heart. Heart pull. I say the T. But in my defense, do you say letters or letters, like some fucking insane person. You know what I'm saying? T's are pronounced like D's. That's just a fact. All right. Let's go back to the first one. First time chat, Troll Blitz 40K. Going to do more stippling? Oh, that's actually IQ. Going to do more stippling. I mean, yeah, it happens a lot. In my private classes, like basically what I'm trying to do is like get the stipple stroke and the heart pull stroke figured out for somebody because they come up a lot when you're glazing and wet blending. So they need to just kind of be interchangeable in your arsenal. And you want to get to a place where you're not thinking about it, you know? Now, let's grab some Bold Power Red. This is the kind of the official red here. At some point, I'm going to need Bold Titanium White. So let me just throw some down now. What the fuck is it? All right, I'm gonna look on the floor. Bold Titanium White. Fuck you at. Okay, no, that's unopened. Don't open a new one because you can't find the old one. Stop doing that. Where the fuck is it? It's not there. No, no. Don't do it. Okay. We used it like literally yesterday. God. Why is this my fucking life? God. I need to get my shit I need to get my life sorted out. Okay. Don't open this. Stop. Stop looking at it. I'll keep looking at it like you know you're gonna open it again. Ah, found it. Nope, this is an empty one. Good. How many? Okay, yesterday, that was one of the last things I did yesterday. Right? I was painting. I see a lot of my paints over here. It didn't fall on the ground. Didn't go in a drawer. Didn't put it over here. This is insanity. JBZ should put a safety label. Ketty is a hobo, but the coolest hobo. Yeah. B-Buzz, you going to LVO? Yes, sir. The lab is jacked. Okay. Is it like way under my shit? Oh my god. This is upsetting. This doesn't make sense. Okay, no. None of these are Bold Titanium White. My empty bottle Bold Titanium White. Okay, let's see if I can shampoo some Bold Tit. Nope, this thing is dried out like a motherfucker. Let's see. Yeah, it's cashed. Okay, like I'm fucked. I'm not allowed to open the new one until I find the old one. Do you want some super old ones? How the fuck does this keep happening to me?
And his name is John.
Talon. That's my boy right there. Oh, wait. Nope. That's the same. Talon, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I forgot. Happy birthday, homie. What are you? Oh my god, get the fuck out of here. It's been a while since you used a fucking happy birthday joke on me. Good old Talon. Am I gonna be streaming at LVO? Am I gonna be streamed at LVO? Probably not. I mean, I'd say a lot of times they stream me in early rounds just because my army looks sick. But now if GW's officially in capacity of the stream, then they don't. GW, not a fan. Aching for bacon? I know. I know. Major Braun, we have not done whip yet, but we will. I need to get... Okay, you know what? We'll come back to the white. We're going to do paint washing anyway. So, we've got to make some dark things darker. That's the first row to contrast anyway, of making images sharp. So, Ball Power Red is the official red. But everything had a base of black-brown in it. So we're going to make it darker, but respectfully so. Use a little water, semi-opaque, a little wet. Be a touch of the old black. And we're going to use this to make dark lines a little darker, respectfully, using the heart pull strategy. So you see there's a ledge here. A ledge here. And so, don't reach for just like a bottle of wash product for this. Just use the paints already involved in the project and use the technique of washing. Not the product. Because this will always be safer and have more respect. So like any fat lines, like see how fat those lines are? Like I don't even care because it's absorbing into the exact same colors that are already there. And see there's all sorts of like scratches and shit, so we gotta take a second to hit these.
His name is John C.
Yo, it's my man War Pigment. War Pigment with the 404. Clean up, everybody, everywhere. Clean up, everybody. Do your share. War Pigment, that's my dude. War Pigment using heart pulls to get inside these major scratches. Like these predominant ones. Okay, just to pull them out a little bit. There's some strong man love for my boy War Pigment. Now War Pigment, we got to get inside these vents. Semi-opaque and a little wet. Just use the tip and use some heart pull strategy. Pow! Semi-opaque and wet. Light brush pressure. Now let's get right up against here. Let's thin it down just a little bit. Let's get inside these teeth right here. Using some stipples, perhaps. This is how we sharpen the image, by making the dark stuff darker. Scratch here. Scratch here. Scratch here. So that instantly helps pop the image out. Talon, how come do you think 40K ITC streams will ever get the same attention as the established esports? How come do you think 40K ITC streams Are you asking me if like I do? Like, do you think they won't? It's all about how they cover it. Need. It's like it can't just be, you know, an overhead and some guys talking. It's got to be. It's got to be more hype than that. It's all about the presentation and the caster. And you should probably be streaming more than one game at once. Like if there's four, if it's you're in the top 8, you should be streaming all 4 games at once and moving between the tables because there's always action in a game. Just there's moments of not action between them. You see? So if you're doing the whole the top 8, 4 tables, and you're able to move between them, that's completely different. But that's a much more involved production. Which I've been involved in one of those, and it was amazing. Okay, let's do the other one real quick. Let's just be efficient. Semi-opaque and a little wet. Hilagio? Hilagio? Is that a spicy pepper? And we're doing the same thing on this one. Let's get inside these cracks again, these scratches. Semi-opaque, a little wet. Scratch right there. Scratch right there. Here. Let's water it down a little bit. Let's make sure we can tuck inside of here. Some stipples. The old sewing machine stroke. Get this scratch here. I like to do the pin washes first because the edge highlight is how I kind of erase mistakes too. Get inside here. Bye bye in chat. What's up, man? OnePlus saves. So upon further investigation, it looks like really only Space Marines can suit now between chapters, etc. because of sharing the starters keyword. OnePlus saves. But what about the angle brackets, right? If you have Ultramarines and Salamanders, they're legal because they share the Astartes keyword, but they're illegal if they are not sharing the angle chapter bracket, right? And I think everything in the game is getting that treatment. Okay. I think it's Chaos and Demons. Chaos and Demons could do it by my estimate. Because you can use Nurgle or Slanesh as your keyword. And Demons don't have Legion brackets. Right? If you had Emperor's Children all Slanesh, and then you had a battalion of demons all Slanesh, that's a key word that's not chaos. And all the Slanesh doesn't have any fucking chapter or Legion brackets. Seems like a bypass for now. Okay, let's just work on this real quick. So, can't find bold titanium white, so we're not using it. So we're gonna take straight up bold power red, and we're gonna just do a quick set of highlights with this. High opacity, low moisture. We're gonna do some heart pulls right here. Okay. Right here. Love Mini says you really need to go to LVO, otherwise you would scrape one paint show for the rule show. I'm going to LVO. Let's get those lines, and so these get a lot more subtle as they fade away because this is the same red for the most part that we used. Heart pulls right here. So I'm building respect first. Let's do a little under highlight on that scratch. Now, what we need to do is make it brighter in a second. Let me just do a fake line right here. Let's do an inner trim line. These are fun. So we're just drawing a line right up against our shadow right there. Using the heart pull. Pow! Let's get a little ivory in there because I can't find my white. Now let's move down to this brighter real estate. And we're just going to tuck in this brighter line. Right here. Ivory is totally fine. A lot of people prefer it for a highlight on the red anyway over white.
Angels sang out in an immaculate chorus. Down from the heavens descended Chuck Norris.
Dope boy, what's up? So I can't quit you, dog. Liebot says, you want me to bring Colorado good at LVO? Vegas is legalized weed. So, if you want. So we are just cheating the brightness, and you guys know I'm going to knock it back down in a second. Let's do the inner highlight right here. Okay, let's kick it up a notch with more ivory. High opacity, low moisture, heart pull strategy. A little bit of flow improver to help the joint flow. Getting some of those scratches, looking real good. Let's get these vents again. Light brush pressure, just scrape in a tiny little line. Pow, pow. Run it back over here. Pow! Rinse, 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 rinse. We'll do a whip session as soon as we do this last step, guys. Now we're just going to grab some of the transparent yellow. A lot of people, like I said, they like to highlight red with yellow. That's not going to work. It's even debatable if this yellow is actually of a higher value than red, but it's also not going to it's not going to have enough impact. Anyway, so what you want to do is you just want to lower the opacity of the yellow. And since we literally forced the red to be brighter by introducing ivory or white, now you can just glaze the yellow right over that line. And if you want that nice yellowy kind of highlight feeling, that extra warmth, it's going to take on the value information of that ivory and literally be bright, but also filtered by yellow. So just a little bit of quick glaze action. You see what it's just kind of warming up those highlights and taking them off of the saturated pink world. And that's a completely different style. Like honestly, I have no problem with the desaturated pink look. It's fine. It's just that I also like kind of overwarming my highlights sometimes. I think it's fun. Just a little yellow filter. Like that. We still got to do all the black, right? And I see too that like if I go back to red, there's an obvious spine here I should be highlighting. You see this? So this is just bow power red. There's some lines right there that should be hit. Throw a little ivory in there. So we just popped all this contrast out. Pretty easy to do. Just using the fundamentals of our techniques that we teach in our classes, using some pin wash strategies, edge highlight strategies, and our glaze edit strategy. People like 1+ Saves can tell you about. Put a little black right here on this little nut. There's like little teeth. I'm gonna paint black using very careful stipples and heart pull stipples. Pow, son. Beautiful. All right, guys, exclamation point whip. Let's jump into Discord. We still got an hour left. Oh, lordy, when am I going to do another run of my model holders? Nah, probably not. Thought about doing a Kickstarter, but man, I have no idea how to get manufacturing done. Let's just get a sneak peek of what this looks like. Wow. And this one right here, I haven't even dry fit this yet, but look, we're gonna throw this. If we throw this one on there, I have a feeling it's gonna change what the sword is able to do. Yeah, look. So much detail, because if that was like a GW leg, it would just be like smooth with some trim and some bolts. Whereas the Creature Caster one has 1,000 little dents, creases, and like shelves. Archie Core, what's up, man? All right, let's jump into it. Pop these off. I think we're actually kind of on schedule, because I said we would need to do 2 sessions on these, and I think we're gonna get the legs done in 1 session. And I did 3 sessions on the chassis, but I think I'm gonna do a 4th still, like cleanup phase, and then 1 session on the base. So I think that we're actually on schedule to complete them in about the amount of sessions I said it would take. Because his chassis is not done yet, I just stopped painting it. Because I was like, alright, we've been on this too long. Their codex is good, they shouldn't whine. Like, Okay, so we've already got some blue. Oh my god, I need my white. Okay, it has come up again, guys. Where the fuck is my bold titanium white? I've scoured the desk. I moved shit around. And I don't see the bold titanium white. Did I put it in a drawer like some weirdo? No. I might have to open this white. No, as soon as I open this white, I'm going to find the other white. Fine. We're doing it. Major Braun, yeah, the new every codex has been outdated as soon as FAQ drops, and the FAQs have dropped like 2 weeks after. It's just I don't buy codexes, man. I opened a new one. I like it. Chaotic painting. What's up, brother? So let's take some black. This is the same black we use. Let's put a little dark blue in it. Touch of white. And let's make a dark gray. Okay? Respectful dark gray right here. But with a tinge of blue. So that's brighter than black. But only a little. And we'll use this to kind of aggressively sketch out some lines. Okay? Hit it with some bright ass light so you can see the black. We use the heart pull here. And the trick is to be respectful. And if you're respectful, you can be kind of wily with the lines. And that's just it's a nice ghost line. We're using heart pull strategy where we put the tip down and then drag back to our body using the natural structure of our skeleton. Now, here, I need to figure out what's going on down here. Like, it just needs to stop right there above the tooth. Now, there is another set of trim on here that I'm going to have to work on here in a second. But let's do kind of the tops of these vent slats, whatever these fucking things are. Let's do bottoms of these. Again, I'm respecting the fuck out of this black. Tops of these. Okay, now that same mix, let's add a little bit more white to it. So we've upgraded the gray factor. Again, now let's reinforce what we just did, but let's be a little bit more precise. Again, using the heart pull strategy. And this is disrespectful to the initial black, but it respects the line we just built. A little bit more flow improver. It's drying up on my tip. And always rotate the model. Look for that heart pull. We're gonna run little tracers in there with our tip.
Can you feel me now?
High opacity, low moisture. Let's get the tops of these guys again. Let's get these guys. This guy. What the hell? Must have been super glue under there. See that shiny spot right there? I must have like put a patch of super glue down there by accident when I was building the guy. Go away when I varnish it. Let's get a little bit brighter. Now I can turn the light down a little bit. Something a little bit more natural. So here we go. Last little bit.
Can you feel me now?
Still not white. Just brighter gray. Now there are some scratches, so this is under highlight on a couple of those. To accentuate them. Tight. Now, if at any point you don't like what you did, you just go back to black, lower the opacity with some water. Like so. And you can use this to kind of glaze right up against any line that you feel like got kind of wacky. But I'm happy with that, so I'm not going to. Now, there is this exterior kind of trim here. Mostro Morty, what up, brother? So, probably straight up gold. Or maybe red again. I mean, fuck, maybe red again. Red might be kind of neat. Let me take some brown and red. I think it'd be kind of neat. So brown mixed with red. High opacity. Heart pull. A little bit of flow improver. Shout out to Cloth Sack, 3 months. What's up, brother? A little bit more red. It's not even done drying. Yeah, I like the red. Red's tight. And it's up. It's a detail that's shoved up against his body too, and I like that. I just like that it's red. Let's take a little white in the mix. Just kind of peek them out a little bit. Take some transparent yellow. Just kind of glaze a little transparent yellow right over. Nothing too crazy. So that's our first leg plate, and we're like halfway done with the second one already. Chaotic painting. Where's this model from? This is Creature Caster. This is our Edge of Annihilation, the Corpse Bearer. So let's see what it looks like. I'm gonna put a little super glue on this thing. And the leg plate goes right here. Pow, 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 pow. That's pretty ballin'. These giant shoulders are so sick. All right, we got 22 minutes left. I feel like that's enough time. I feel like we can do it. So here's our other joint. This guy, we just pin washed it and blocked in the black, so we need to go through the edge highlighting strategy all over again. Totally not a Chaos War Dog. God damn it. What the fuck is this image? Wow. So, Vampire Painting Studios, thank you for the host. I missed that. So, the reason War Pigment you like the shoulders now is because they are painted. You see how good it looks when it's all one thing here in this render? But like when it's all like patchwork paint job, it looks kind of shitty. So like now it's not patchwork and you can see the shoulders, it looks sick. Darkest Claptrap, thank you for the follow. So 20 minutes left. Taking my last sip of coffee, getting my nicotine queued up. Take a sip of water, and we're gonna see what we can do in 20 minutes. Thank you guys for your support today. Chaos Cav, War Pigment, Talon, my man Crazy Cyber. Double Yo Dogs on Saturdays. Thank you for the the fucking money. All right, let's do it. So let's get the red queued up real quick. So we're gonna go with high opacity, low moisture, just raw dog bowl power red. And we are going to, hold on a second, let me just get some flow improver in my bristles so it doesn't dry on me. We're gonna use the heart pull strategy. We're just gonna draw some lines. Being careful to rotate the model. To facilitate this, rotate back this way. Now there are plenty of scratches. You want to do the under highlights on these. And we're going to get brighter than this. So you don't need to do it all right now. But it's nice and respectful when it's just red. Using the tip, always rotating the model, looking for straight lines. We're going to do a fake line right here, right up against our pin wash. I've already scouted this leg out. This leg is tucked in there, man. This one's not easy to see. So I'm definitely going to slack. So I'm going to add some white to the mix. And we're going to reinforce some of this. Down here where it's getting brighter because of our airbrushing. So just a little white in the mix to make it a little bit brighter, but not crazy brighter. Still using the heart pull. Down here, we're going to just do some line work. Under these scratches, we're going to hit this exterior right here. We're going to turn, we're going to hit this under scratch. Right there. Right there. Right there, right there. Talon, my dude. What up, homie? Talon, happy anniversary. I believe 50th is a necrotite green. How lovely. Here's to another 50. Hip hop hooray. Hip bip hooray. What? What are you even going on about? Yo, shout out right there to my man Talon, my man War Pigment, my man Chaotic Painting. Thank you guys so much for that support. Garlug. Ooh, the bot's definitely going to get tore up here. Yo, let me get some strong man love. Talon, War Pigment, Chaotic Painting says, loving it, man. Learning so much. Garlug in the chat. Let's see where the bot decided to shit on people. Got Chaotic Painting. It missed everyone else. It's definitely going to show on a couple of individuals here. Let me scrap some individuals. You got one of those Geoduck bot? Oh, you got two. You got Garlug. So Talon and War Pigment. I got you. I'll do it real quick. Talon, I got you right here. And War Pigment, I got you. War Pigment up next. Let me get that fucking straight up exclamation point hyphy across the board. Now, Garlug, War Pigment, Caddick Painting, Talon. Let's grab more white. And I don't know what Talon was going on about. 50th anniversary? Fuck. You saying that Necrotite Green is the official gift of 50? A little bit more white in the mix. See, we're just going to drag some of that in. Keeping the opacity correct. Light brush pressure. And if I mess up, don't worry, I can always just tap it back down with some glaze strategy.
And his name is John C.
Yo, Jay Beezy. It's my boy right there, Mini Painter the Great. Jay Beezy, thank you for that strong declaration. I appreciate that, man. JBZ in the house. Now, real simple. Like I said, this one gets tucked in, so I don't even really care that much about cleaning too much up because I feel like the yellow is going to fix most of it. So transparent yellow, water it down a little bit. Just straight up water. JBZ, check it out. Let's just yellow up some of these highlights with some glaze editing, and this will actually kind of heal any rifts. I'll kind of link it to the red a little bit. There we go. It's not enough opacity to really change the red. It's only really able to change the red where it got white infused in it. So it's taking on the value properties of that white in the mix, providing a little bit of a yellow filter, and kind of just smoothing it out. Kind of doing all these things at once. I'm just going to stack it up in a couple spots. And this leg is like, this leg is like tilting back. So again, I'm not like as hyper focused on perfection on this one. You have to like hold them kind of weird to even see my lines. So like, I'm like, that's enough. Efficiency. Now with 11 minutes left, JBZ. Let's go back to black, blue, drop a white. Let's make a respectful black, gray highlight right here with some blue mixed in. A little flow improver. And we're going to draw some fat lines, okay? go. Rotate, look for the heart pull, high opacity, low moisture, just enough moisture to flow. I'm using like slightly more moisture than normal for a traditional edge highlight, just to get these quick flows. But since I'm doing the bigger, broader highlight and I'm respecting it enough, I'm okay with it being a little wetter because it'll let me drag longer lines faster, but also since there's a little bit more moisture in it, it's not as opaque, so if I fuck up a little bit, it will kind of tamp itself down into the real estate, taking on some of the black information underneath it. And again, if you ever fuck up doing this, it's just a simple matter of glaze editing it with some straight up black. Okay, get those ghost lines down real quick. Let's run in here. Okay, tops of things. Oh, forgot this. I'll just grab some straight up black. Let it tip my brush. I got these. Stipple heart pull. Rotate. Tight, tight, tight. Now let's upgrade. Let's take some white into that same mix, JBZ. So just upgraded it one stop. Let's move down here. A little bit more precise. Just taking my time to be a little bit sharper now. Always looking for that heart pull strategy. Again, if you fuck up, don't even stop. Just keep going. Like some of those lines got a little wacky on me. It's okay. Just careful right here. Little tracer. Ping, 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 ping. Whoops, dropped my brush. Let me look at the other leg, see how bright I went. That's about as bright as I went. Okay, so rinse the brush. 7 minutes left. So again, if like I said, if you're not happy, water down some black. Make it less opaque. Take some of the excess moisture off. Tom Duster, you gangster. Tom Duster, check it out. I'm going to glaze edit in here. And I'm just going to use some subtraction technique and using a less opaque version of black. And I'm going to just kind of glaze, erase, edit the shape of some of these lines. And it's just going to like tamp it down. You know, you might have to do 1 or 2 passes, maybe 3. But it lets you adjust the line shape when you're moving fast like I was. So black is so easy to edge highlight. People get so bogged down by it. It's like all you gotta do is respect it. Draw the fucking lines. And if you fuck up the lines, you just gotta edit them down real quick, like so. And I was able to just kind of quickly reshape those lines, keep it ghostly, let it tamp down, let it do its thing. You know. Let it dry for a second. You can go in for a second pass. You can even water it down even more. And you can just be a little bit more ambitious, Tom Duster, and just walk your way real deep in there. And really curate some tapering vantage point shape, line shape, right? Because like having skinny lines is great, but I also like to sometimes curate the shape of my line. It says, have a great rest of your Saturday weekend. Be safe and well. I really appreciate that, Tom Duster. 5 minutes left. Now, again, I'm cutting corners on how precise I'm willing to be on this tucked in leg. I'll glue it on and adjust after I see it, you know? So now real quick, let's just grab some brown and some red. High opacity Tom Duster. And let's just quickly bang out this trim piece, which I don't even think you're going to fucking see. High opacity, low moisture, one and done coverage right over the black. And we're using the brown because that is the basis of our red. Heart pull, stipple modification here. We're just using both sewing machine stroke and heart pulls. Rinse it. Pick up some Bull Power Red. Raw Dog. Right over it. Right there. Raw Dog Bull Pyro. Like so. Rinse it. Pick up a little bit of that white in the red and just do some real subtle lines here. Nothing crazy. Like so. Rinse it. Again, I'm being lazy because I don't think I'm even going to see it. Let's pick up some yellow. Drag some yellow right over. Just transparent yellow. And if I can see it, I'll fix it once it's glued on. Done. Okay? That's how you engineer shortcuts, right? I'm not deploying any more effort than is required, right? So let's take a look here. Let's just throw a little glue on this joint. With 3 minutes left. So it goes right there. Okay. And then this fucking sword goes right over it. And after that's good and secure and dry, I will reevaluate any of the highlights. So you can actually see a lot more of the red than I thought. It actually pokes right through. Can't see almost anything of the black. And you can only really see this facing. So I will tighten up some of my lines here on this facing. But that's it. And maybe just readdress that red trim. Just to make sure it's maximized. But this is where we're at right here.
His name is John C.
Slow him to face, you fucking beast. Keep it dry January over here. Now have a drink on me, bro. You know, maybe I will, brother. I've been thinking I wanted a drink. Slow him to face, thank you so much. This, I mean, fuck yeah, dude. Look at this motherfucking beast. What a fucking gangster. I mean, goddamn, Creature Caster just slaying it. Oh, this didn't glue. Garlug, thank you. I see where the connection problem was. There we go. Garlug, thank you so much. Greenleaf Terrain Studio says, brawl on the floor. Do you even lift? No. I barely can lift my own ass out of this chair, dog. Try to paints. How's the weekend? So far, so good, man. With 35 seconds left, or actually minute 30 because of overtime because of Garlug, we're on schedule. Is this the fifth? Okay, 3 on the chassis. 2 on the arms, 1 on the leg panels. So we're at 6 volumes. We're on schedule. Okay, I said it was going to be a lot because we have the butt robe and the nut curtain. I think that might be, and the base. So I'm saying 3 more installments to completion. So 9 total installments to get this guy done. I think that's a record on a creature caster model.
You gotta get swifty. Oh yeah. Take off your pants and your panties. Shit on the floor.
45 seconds with a reset. War Pigment reset is. Shout out to War Pigment. Dude, War Pigment. So we still have this nut curtain right here. I mean, and it's got like so much fucking detail. And then we got the butt curtain. The ass flap. Right here. I mean, this thing is like a whole fucking squad of Space Marines. I'm out of surface area. And this thing is like a tricky glue point. Man, I might have to pin that motherfucker. That's just gonna break off. Like, but Creature Caster, why does he have this? Why does this exist? I don't get it. This is dumb. I'm gonna just say it straight up, Creature Caster. This is dumb. But I'm painting it. So then we gotta get the base curated. And this, see, I want this gun. But that gun is barely able to, I mean, it's almost pinned in there. I don't know.